Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Tech Gamers World. In this video, we're going to do some virtual hurricane hunting in Microsoft Flight Simulator. So Hurricane Milton is heading through the Gulf of Mexico on its way to strike the west coast of Florida. As of today, it has been rated as a Category 5 hurricane, which means it is massively powerful, very windy, very rainy, very dangerous. So we're going to check it out here and see how it's reflected in Microsoft Flight Simulator using the real-time weather settings. So let's go ahead here and get it started. So let's go ahead here and go to the world map. Now here is the storm. You can see it is starting to concentrate right around off the coast of Cancun and Mexico area, and it will eventually head northeastward to Florida. So how do we get to this storm? Well, first we need to find a runway that's close enough. So I'm thinking probably going to use Cancun International. So we'll set this as our departure here. And let's go ahead and zoom in and see what runway it put us on. Runway 30L. That should work nicely. Now let's zoom out and we need to set our destination point. So I'm going to put the destination right approximately past what I think is the middle of the storm. So like right about here. So this doesn't need to be perfect because we're going to want to fly through the heart of the storm. See if we can find the eye, which there may not be a well-defined one yet, but given how big the storm is, there very well could be. So let's go ahead here and select a plane. We're going to fly today in the Boeing FA-18 Super Hornet, one of my favorite planes to do hurricane hunting in. And here's why. This plane is super fast, super agile, get us where I want to go super quickly, and can go really high, which is cool. Now obviously in real life you would not use a fighter jet for hurricane hunting. There are special planes designed to do that, but this is a video game and is not real. So that is selected. Let's go ahead and get ready to fly. First, you know what, let's check the weather, real-time weather, live players, live traffic. I bet you we're going to see a lot of people flying around here. I see some already. So we are good to go. So while that's loading here, if you could click that like button and subscribe to Tech Gamers World. I'm always going to have new and exciting content from the world of video games and flight simulators dropping all the time, and I would love for you to be part of my adventures. So when you click that notification bell, you'll be the first to know when I drop new videos. And I appreciate everybody being here. I'm flying today in a Thrustmaster T.Flight HOTAS 1 flight stick. I absolutely love this flight stick, and after this video, if you want, check out some of my other flight simulator videos that feature the Thrustmaster T.Flight HOTAS 1 flight stick.
Takeoff 1982 Heavy, wind 232 at 1 tree. West departure approved. Cleared for takeoff, runway 30 left.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 30 left, Takeoff 1982 Heavy.
Alright, so we are ready to take off. So here is what we're going to do. Let's go ahead here and check out the outside. It looks pretty nice here. Let's go ahead here and release the parking brake. We're going to throttle up to 100%. Get it started here. Engage the afterburner. And away we go. Airspeed's alive. We are airborne. We have a positive rate. So we'll bring the landing gear up. And let's go ahead and head towards this hurricane.
Cancun Tower, Takeoff 1982 Heavy, frequency change. Cancun approach, Takeoff 1982 Heavy is type.
We are on our way.
West of Cancun, 1,700 feet. Request flight following.
Takeoff 1982 Heavy, Cancun approach. Squawk 0344.
Squawk
we are heading at Mach 1. You can see we just passed Mach 1 right there.
Roger, Techimer 1982 Heavy.
I'll show you what a sonic boom sounds like here. There it is. You can hear it there. So when you're ahead of the plane, then come around, you can hear the sonic boom.
Techimer 1982 Heavy, you have the traffic.
So let's go ahead here and continue heading towards this hurricane. So you can see the storm bands up ahead there. That's probably the storm way off in the distance there.
Going to 125.2 Techimer 1982 Heavy. Meredith Center Techimer 1982 Heavy, 9,300 feet.
Techimer 1982 Heavy, Meredith Center altimeter 29.66 radar contact continue.
So you can see we're flying over land still. Get some more altitude here. We're at Mach 1.24. So as you can see, we're flying really fast here. You can ignore that. Doesn't matter for this. So as we start to get closer to the storm, we will drop altitude and go down below the cloud level, or what they call the ceiling. The ceiling is how high from the ground to the base of the clouds is. So if the bottom of the clouds are 2,000 feet, they say the ceiling is 2,000 feet. So we'll check out what the ceiling is right now here. We can approximate it. See, right now it's beautiful. We're heading to the west. So like I said, in real life, you would never fly a fighter jet into a hurricane. There are specially designed planes that do hurricane hunting. And what they do is they go out and they take pressures, barometric pressures, measure wind, stuff like that. So I know they use a mix of propeller planes and jets to do hurricane hunting. I know they use typically bigger planes with 4 engines, 4 engines, to get the kind of stuff they need, because they literally fly into the heart of hurricanes. Just looking up here what some of the hurricane hunting planes are. WP-3D Orions are used. That's a 4-engine propeller plane, which is pretty cool. That's got special equipment in it, obviously, to measure the different things like we talked about. So hurricanes have gotten pretty well managed in terms of knowing when they're coming, because obviously, we have radar, we have airplanes, satellites, stuff like that. Years ago, the only way you knew a storm was coming is you would measure the barometric pressure. If it dropped, rose, you knew something was going on. So that's all changed. Now, measuring barometric pressure is a secondary form of storm, tracking and stuff like that. Back 100 years ago, you didn't know it was going to rain up until you could see it, or you tracked the pressure dropping. Pressure increases and decreases, signify storms coming. That was the only way you knew. Then in the 50s and 60s, 70s, the advent of radar for weather tracking became a thing after World War II, and the technology was declassified for civilian use. That's basically where weather radar and stuff like that came from. So we are 172 nautical miles away. If the storm is as big as they say it is, and it looks like it is, we should be able to see some lightning up ahead eventually. .60 nautical miles away. So have you guys ever flown in any kind of storms before in flight simulators? If you have, let me know below what your favorite experiences is in flying in flight simulators for storms, whether it's snowstorms, hurricanes, typhoons, anything like that. I find that stuff to be pretty cool. So let's see how low this cloud cover actually is here. Fly down by the water here. So I would estimate the ceiling right now at a couple of 1,000 feet. See here, we're flying, buzzing the water here. Nautical miles away, so we're getting there. You can see there's nothing behind us but ocean. 007. Pulling 5 Gs here. 6 Gs. So it looks like up ahead we're starting to be able to see some of the bands on the storm. So I'll put timestamps in this video of when we hit milestones. Milestones being points of reference. You know, we're hitting the storm wall if we find the eye, stuff like that. So we're 122 nautical miles away from what I deemed to be the center of the storm. So I'm pretty sure we're starting to come up against the storm wall. There's some lightning. I figured we'd see it. Just kind of transfer that camera, the camera over here a little bit. Microsoft does a really good job of rendering lightning in Flight Simulator. There's definitely the storm wall up ahead there. And just to show you how massive the storm probably is, there's some lightning. It's hard to find it, so I'm just looking around for it here. We're still 100 nautical miles away from what I think was the center of the storm. And you can see the storm up ahead there. So right now the storm's actually not that well defined. Thought it would be more defined for being such a big storm. Let's head over to that lightning over there, shall we? We can make like a curved approach into the center of the storm. So now, let's drop down. There's some lightning. Oh, that was close. That was legitimately close. We'll head up to this cloud pocket up here. So let's see what the ceiling is looking like here. passing below 2,000 feet. You can see we're starting to get into the thick of it here. I expect the winds to pick up. Cloud cover starting. Oh yeah, look at that. Getting into these storms, the wall here. So the wall looks like it's past where I thought it would be. And now that we're here, nothing but clouds. You can see there's all kinds of lightning. There's some cool lightning. So let's go up and see if we can get up above the storm. Shall we? Let's push it up to 40,000 feet or so. $31,000 feet. So we'll head now towards the center of what I thought is the center of the storm. We should get some pretty nice shots. See just how big these clouds are here. We'll dive down into it. So we're at 20,000, a little under 20,000 feet, and you can see just how many clouds there are. There's some nice lightning. So here you'd be measuring your barometric pressures, your wind speeds, rain, all that stuff. There's a storm. The ceiling is really low. It's like crazy low. The storm's not really well defined yet. I thought it would be a little bit better defined. Let's fly up and see what it looks like in the roughly center of the storm. Some awesome lightning. There comes a nice cloud wall here. So here we got to really watch our altitude because it's easy to get disoriented when you're not able to see. You don't have visual flight in front of you. It's really hard to see, so you can get disoriented quick. So you got to watch your altitude. See, I've already dropped 3,000 feet in a matter of a couple of seconds there. So it's just basically, literally at this point, not even looking ahead. I'm following the altitude on the bottom right of my screen there. It's actually not that bumpy. I thought it would be bumpier. So we're 20 nautical miles out. Altitude is 3,000 feet. Can't really see a thing. So there's nothing to see here at all. Just that. The cloud cover is just that dense. Now I would have expected this storm to be less cloud cover as I got to the center, but apparently not. So as we come up to the center of the storm, let's pull us up here, see if we can get out over these clouds. Passing 18,000 feet. See the sun for the first time in a while. We're coming up on 30,000 feet here. We're going to stall out shortly, so I got to level off. So as you can see, it's just nothing but clouds as I got closer to the center of this massive Hurricane Milton, which is a Category 5 hurricane at this point here. We saw some pretty cool lightning, which was awesome. Just look at as far as you can see, clouds just everywhere. This storm is massive, and it is scheduled to hit the west coast of Florida sometime around Wednesday, October 9th, 2024. So I hope everyone enjoyed this video. As always, if you have anything you would like to see, please drop a comment down below, and I will do my best to make that happen. Click that like button and subscribe to Tech Gamers World. I'm always going to have new and exciting content from the worlds of video games and flight simulators dropping all the time. Thanks a lot, everybody, and I will see you around. Keep on gaming.